Hello, my name is Erik. Welcome to Fine Mathematics. And this is our continued conversation on executive functions on the environment. This will be part 7 of our conversation. And I already reiterated some of the stuff in the last video, but we'll go a little bit detailed again. This is, once again, function first. And I will repeat this in different categories as well as we go through the whole executive function book, as it would be. Function first because that's why we're here. We're engineering our environment, our behaviors, our procedures, everything for student success. So if we don't optimize for that, then we may be getting off track. So when you're engineering your room, once again, function first. Where is the best place for the person to do work? Where is the best place for the person to sleep, to maximize sleep, maximize work? And whatever other things you may need to do in a bedroom, like maybe having a chair or somewhere to change, a mirror. Once you start kind of thinking this way, you start realizing that everything does have its optimal spot. And when you're in the room, just kind of what I'd recommend people do is just kind of go through every process of your normal day. Get out of bed, okay, I walk here. Then I'm going to go sit at the desk, I'm going to do my work. When I'm going to change, I've done this myself. When I'm going to change, I put mirrors where it's easy for me to see easily without having to twist and turn, because in the past I would hang a mirror after I've already hung everything up on the wall with any thought. The idea is we're thinking holistically of where everything's going to go from a central idea. So function first, because we want to make sure everything gets done right. The second thing you want to keep in mind, and I mentioned this before again, is intents. Don't cross the streams. Make sure the bedroom intent and the work intent are maximized and they're not bleeding over to each other. You don't want to be sleeping and then being bombarded in your head because you're worried about work you have to do or haven't done yet. And vice versa. You don't want to be working and then worrying about or getting tired at it because you're looking right at your bed. These are small little things that may seem insignificant, but over time and daily use, they do end up affecting people. I've seen it with myself and with other students. The last thing I want to mention, and this goes into the aesthetics category of it. So we do our function, we get our bones, you've got everything where it wants to go. And like from the last video, I said come up with some words, some thematic words, if you will, that you can use to help decorate your room. Another thing that, in my personal opinion, is going to become more and more conducive in our daily life is maintenance. We don't really think about that when we buy products, but I think we're going to see this with corporations in the future as well too, but let's apply it to our environment here too. When you're decorating your room, and this is completely subjective, think about where things can go, but also how easy it is to maintain and clean. If you've got 1,000 tiny little things, they're going to get dusty, and it's going to be hard to want to take everything off and clean everything and put them all back. So you're less likely to do it, which means it's going to end up getting dust. And if it gets dusty, then the room gets dusty. It may not feel as nice and sharp as it would be to want to do work. So kind of keep that in mind when you're engineering your room. Put things where they are. Remember, open space is always more relaxed. It gives more breath for working, as well as it's easy to maintain. And if you have stuff that needs to be sorted, then when we get to the next section of tools of the trade, in terms of supplies and or with your furniture, if you don't have places to put stuff, this may be the time to say, oh, maybe I should get a little file cabinet thing and I stick it in the closet so I can have all my supplies. You don't want to just have supplies crammed. The whole idea is to make things efficient and easy so you can get them done at a moment's notice without that getting in the way of the work that needs to be done, causing more stress and anxiety. The environment should be pleasant to be in, and it should also be easy to maintain. That way you can maintain it at a high level. I always recommend simple decorations, but once again, that's just my personal taste. If you lean more on a minimalistic kind of point of view, kind of think like maybe a Japanese kind of thing, it tends to be an easier way to get things done in terms of work, because there's less distractions, there's less things in your field of vision, and it really does have an effect. So I kind of lean that way, but once again, these are just guidelines, in terms of hanging pictures and things. wall space. You don't need to have tons of wall space, but you want to have something that, oh, this room has a vibe, but at the same token, it's not just cluttered in like you might see in some old, and this is not to say I don't appreciate these things, like some old Victorian mansion you see in England that is just covered with every inch of hanging pictures, which has its own unique vibe. And honestly, I like those too. But just we're speaking in generalities, of course. Last time I promise. Function first. Eye lines don't cross the streams of intent, so to speak. Keep a room with open space is always better. Less clutter is always better. And always keep in mind maintenance. You're going to be wanting to maintenance. Make it easy on yourself, because if it's easy to maintain, keep clean and maintain, you're going to be more likely to do it. Thank you very much for watching Fine Mathematics once again. My name is Eric. And remember, enjoy the process.